Hello, everyone. It's so good to be back. But don't call it a comeback, because comebacks are disgusting. And besides, I never left. Yes, it is time again to check in with everybody's favorite video game player, streamer, chill streamer, whatever you want to call him, Dark Side Phil. Now, I suppose a lot of you are wondering who watched my old content where I used to criticize this guy, why I stopped. Well, the fact of the matter is that I just kind of got bored with it. Things got really boring after his horse moved in, rather. And things really didn't start to pick back up until all the bankruptcy leaks came out. And yeah, I listened to the hearing. Definitely had a couple of cringe moments when he was trying to explain like PayPal and Twitch to the one lady. Oh, terrible. And big props to that guy who called in and pretended to be a creditor. I think that's what he did. That was pretty awesome. I had a good laugh about that. The other thing that I was really kind of stoked the flames in my heart again to poke fun at this guy is this stupid vest thing. I think it's absolutely idiotic, and I saw that video that he put up to commemorate his 50 vest streak. He didn't make it. The second that I watched it, I knew that somebody else made it, and I checked the description first to find a link to the guy's channel. I don't think it was in there. He said, thanks to Anonymous or whatever, Anonymous. I don't know who the guy's name was. I'm probably giving him more credit than Phil did. And I was just like, God, this son of a gun. He got me out of retirement. Sort of retirement. Semi-retirement. A little bit of a different setup now. Got the green screen all set up. And yeah, I have a lot more time on my hands. So, let's hop into Ask the King. This was posted about a week ago. I want to say like the 7th. The 7th, May 7th. So about a week late to the party, but that's all right. I had to stock up on some goods. Very hard to come by these days. Well, it's not too bad. Liquor stores are essential businesses. They truly are. And the other reason why I wanted to do this today was primarily because we had this little Twitter exchange between Superhound Media, what a guy, apparently was getting people's content taken down or flagged or whatever. And Phil actually sided with the people saying, hey, this guy shouldn't be doing this. He's taking down sort of detractor content. And Phil's like, hey, stop that. And so in honor of Superhound Media basically bringing out the goodness in Phil, it's going to bring out the dark bile, that nasty ire that's in my own heart. So thank you, Superhound Media, for prompting this Twitter exchange. And shout out to, of course, Mimology for posting this little video. I caught this, and I'm like, yeah, I should be in the clear. I mean, this is it's probably fair use. I'm talking for most of the video, but, well, not most of the video. We know who's going to be doing most of the talking. We're shooting for all of part 1 in this, so please stick with me, and if I feel like it, I'll watch part 2. I have not watched any of this. Ask the King always annoyed me the most, and I usually would go in blind. Sometimes I'd watch a thing here or there, or I'd have a couple of friends tell me about what happened in it, and I'd catch up with what went on in the episode. But we're just going to jump in blind, jump in with both feet first, back into the dark side. Yes! Don't call it a comeback. It's gross. I hope I didn't have this much dead air. No. There we go.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
DSP here, and welcome.
Good to join you again,
episode
DSP.
of Ask the King. This is my Q&A show where my stream stats leaderboard is completely skewed and falling off the top of the screen for some reason.
Right, here. Let me help you with that.
This is my Q&A show where every couple of months, I usually
every couple of months
do the show and answer your questions. Whether you
when was the last time you did this show?
KingofHate.com.
It's been a while.
On my Twitter right over here at They Call Me DSP. Or
thank you for pointing to me.
Sometimes we have a time for a segment where I answer your questions from the stream chat.
Getting a little mic echo here. I'm going to turn him down a bit.
The thing is, there's been so much going on in the realms of gaming and my streams. I haven't had a chance to do one of these shows since January. I know that's
there has been a lot
long
going
time
on with
coming
his
that I was doing another
Minecraft
Ask the King,
streams.
and I apologize to those of you who were looking forward to the show.
If you ever want to
and
kick,
really
read the
hasn't
description on
happened.
his
First it was supposed to be
Minecraft
late
streams.
March,
He
but in
just
late
copy
March,
and
if you
paste
remember, we had
descriptions
multiple
from
releases,
Neo
like Neo
and
2 and Doom Eternal.
and Doom
Then in
Eternal.
April,
You'll see those
I got an ear
descriptions for
infection.
those
And
games
because of the ear
in his
infection, I lost
Minecraft
a whole day of
descriptions. I
streaming,
spotted
and
it
was
one
like,
day and
well,
I was just like,
the
that's
one thing that could really
super lazy.
be bumped.
how are
would
they
be
gonna know
Ask
it's
the
not a
King.
Minecraft chill stream if you don't put it
Since
in
all the
the
other gameplay that I was doing, I wanted to continue on
description.
and not fall behind on. All right. So here we are. It's actually early May. It's May 7th.
May 7th. Okay,
2020.
so I was right.
And this is actually episode, I believe, 81 of Ask the King, which is
81.
pretty awesome, obviously. That this show has
Obviously.
been long running. You know, we're actually getting up to almost 100 episodes, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, you're only
Now, one thing that's a lot different.
19
okay,
away.
A
Oh,
lot
good.
different from.
Oh, I'm
usual.
glad that I'm in
We've
this
got
corner.
A crazy ongoing streak, as you can.
It says
see,
Vest Streak no
of me
over here,
hitting
Phil.
my tips goal
So
during
I
every
don't-
stream and putting on the vest in celebration. Now the vest didn't even exist on the last episode of Ask the King. You guys don't even know what I'm talking about. But
Does he
this is
think
basically
people
something
just
that I started
watch
doing in
Ask
late
the
February.
King?
I was doing a retrospective event, and people saw me wearing this vest in a video, a vlog from like 10 years ago. And they were like, "What is that vest? Do you still have it?" And I went and found it in my closet and put it on.
God.
And ever since then,
This
people
was
were
just
like,
so
"Well, the
stupid in that
celebration, if you hit
video.
your tips goal, put
Did
on
he
vest
find
for
the
it."
vest,
And
or
I
did
have
the
now hit
vest
tips
find
goal
him?
66 straight damn streams.
Straight damn,
Okay.
damn and hell and bitchin' ass.
Pretty
Back
damn
to the
crazy that this has
vest,
happened.
bitch.
All right. Now, the vest streak is
Meatwad
continuing
quote,
on
I
the line
think.
today. This very stream, if we hit the tips goal, I'll put the vest on during Ask the King. But I don't know if it's going to happen. And quite frankly, some people.
No,
were telling
okay,
me that there
according
was
to
issues with
this,
tipping. So I went to
no.
the big thing, and hopefully tipping is working now. I
No,
hope,
it's not.
'cause it would really suck if tipping's not working. I'm not aware, and now we can't hit the tips goal because the tipping thing is broken. So I tried. I think it's working. One person
His
sent a tip,
tips
as you
thing
can
is
see already,
broken?
during the stream.
How do you
so we'll see what
manage to
happens.
do
If you see me
that?
calling out tips, and all of a sudden I put on a vest during Ask the King, that's why. It's something that's just been a running thing for over a month now, and I know that's never been a
Who
part of
has
Ask the King
not
before.
seen anything
Okay,
this guy
guys,
has
now in addition to
done
this,
since the last
there's
Ask the
been a
King?
lot
He
of
must
stuff
think
going
people
on
tune in
recently
just for Ask the
regarding
King.
my personal life, and I've been
Technically,
talking
I
about this on
do,
my
but
stream
it's only
recently
because
that
I need to
legally
yell at him.
I am bound. I cannot mention any specifics whatsoever in regards to my personal life.
No,
but
you
I
never
will,
do.
Right before we get started with questions here on the stream, I will say a little statement, kind of a pre-prepared statement that I have.
He's
about
got a
the whole
statement. Where's your
situation.
paper?
So at least people who are wondering are
Pull out
want
a-
it, at
I've
least
got a
have help, they can
pre-prepared
have
statement.
one.
Oh.
Okay. And we'll go from there. But primarily, that's not what this show is going to be about. It's about your questions that you submitted on
Yeah,
my
there it
forum,
is. There's his
that you submitted
statement.
on my Twitter, and if we have time near the end of this stream, where I'll be answering questions from the stream chatters as well.
Oh, okay, I thought he was
few
going to save
apologies in
questions for
advance. First of all,
Patreon. If we have
my
time, we'll
allergies
get to
have been
those
really bad
$20
this past month.
pledges.
My throat has been gunked up quite a lot. It's actually not that bad today.
Yeah, he's
but I
got
don't
the
know how it's
corona.
gonna last talking for 3 straight
Got a
hours
bad
here on
case of the
show.
corona.
In addition, I have an ear infection. I had an ear infection in my right ear for a week. Finally, that was going away. And now I
God,
got a left
this-
ear infection that I'm putting medicine in
What
every
kind
day.
of
So my
man
whole,
baby
like,
whines
my
about an
ears
ear
clogged up, my
infection?
equilibrium's
Good
thrown off. It's really screwed up.
freaking Lord.
But
Oh,
I'm
my
doing my best to be here
ear.
and be consistent.
Oh,
and
my
put out streams
freaking
for you guys
ears.
regardless. So if any of that affects the stream in advance, I apologize for all of that. Okay, guys? A couple quick shout outs before we jump right
Whoa,
into
whoa,
the
whoa. Get your hand out of
First
my
all,
freaking
Uchiha
hand. Your hand out of my
Madara
freaking head. Jesus.
1080. Resubscribe for 3 months. And he says, DSP right, which is the emo, okay? So
What?
thank you, Uchiha
What? What?
Madara, for the ongoing support. I appreciate that. 3
I
months.
thought this would last me the full hour,
Gurg
but I don't know if
Dirksen
it's going to.
did a 100-bit cheer and called me an absolute legend. Well, thank you, Gurg. I appreciate the cheer before we get
There is
started.
nothing
All right.
legendary about this man other than the
Okay.
fact how sallow
Now-
his skin is. He looks like a.
We're
he looks
about to
about
get
as
started
blank
with
as
questions.
that
Before
piece of
I
paper
answer
he's
a single
holding.
question,
His
as I
skin
told you
tone is
guys,
just slightly
I wanna
more
make a
yellowed and
public
jaundiced
statement
than that paper.
about stuff going on in my personal life, but I can't be specific. Just warning you guys, I can't give you any dirt or anything like that.
What do you mean,
alright?
dirt? Okay,
Um,
I'm really gonna try
Sadly,
not to
my
pause
personal
this.
life has been splattered all over the internet for the last 4 months. and
Yeah.
there's absolutely nothing I could
Who-
do about
okay,
that.
whose
This whole
fault is
process
that?
I was involved in. I knew there was going to be things that were public or made public that there was no control over.
Is he
all
talking about the bankruptcy?
And so I tried to kind of nip this whole thing in the butt way back in January.
Nip-
I told you guys
nip it
ahead of
in the
time
butt,
what was
not
going on,
bud.
and I gave you details about it and everything.
It's a gardening
Um,
expression. Nip it in the butt.
And at
Okay,
that time,
fine.
some people were like, oh, okay, and some people just kind of downplayed it. But then when the actual information that I forewarned all of you was going to hit the internet hit, all of a sudden it was like every drama queen on the internet.
Am I a drama queen? I really look more like a drama hobo Jesus.
And they fabricated the most ridiculous, preposterous, insane, concocted
Get those adjectives
theories,
out, Philly boy.
Conspiracy theories, and insane slander and negativity towards me that they possibly could.
What is he
in order to
talking
basically
about?
Make it like a 4-month, 3-ring circus of, wow, Phil's life sucks, Phil's going down, Phil's doing this, Phil's doing that, doing all these ridiculous, immoral, illegal things, and blah, 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 blah. And none of that actually happened. Like,
okay, so it's either they're either talking about like the bankruptcy and him like saving money, or they're talking about the WWE thing, and Phil is just pumping it up
on the internet. The absolute insanity of this stuff going on. And I mean, literally every day there's something new, some new bullshit, some new spin, negative, toxic thing that people are saying. Just because I'm in this
get that he's trying to clean out that ear infection
and move forward with my life. All right. Like I said, legally, I'm not allowed to talk specifics at all.
It must be the bankruptcy. If he had legal advice not to talk about his bankruptcy.
That, but I'm sure a lot of you.
But then why? Of course,
about,
everybody's gonna know. But your bankruptcy records are like public.
So I just kind of sat back, and I was like, what can I do? I'm just gonna let it roll.
Nothing you can do.
And people took that as because I was sitting back and not saying anything. About some of the absolute insane things that were going on in the conspiracy theories on the internet about me or whatever. That was, what do they say? Silence means consent or something like that?
What?
So because I'm not addressing it, that obviously means
what?
Truth, right?
Silence means consent? Was Phil like in a cheerleader outfit on a college campus or something? Is that what happened here?
Say the nonsense they wanted to say on the internet, and I just continued every day to put out my fun and positive gameplay.
Is fun and positive and chill streams, yes.
In the last couple of days, even more stuff has come to light publicly to the point where people are now shocked because people have made so much bullshit up, so much slander. People basically, content creators, we're not just talking, my haters, actual content creators on YouTube.
Oh, for God's
picked up the story of my personal life over the last 4 months and took complete misinformation or speculation.
This is where I wonder, am I out of the loop on something?
And since
like,
I wasn't talking
if he doesn't,
okay. Everything we're saying must be
if he doesn't want people to get more details or whatever, the way that he's keeping this vague enough, people will go and look to figure out what he's talking about. I don't care if I'm in the know or not. I can't keep up on all of this crap.
And blah, blah, blah.
But whatever he's talking about is enough to pique my curiosity to go and look and see what he's talking about. I'm pretty sure it's about the bankruptcy.
All right? Things have come out now.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
And people are like, oh my God, how could this be? The sky is falling. I can't believe this because we've been talking about this for 4 months. That this was the end of Phil. And now Phil really must be immortal. Phil must be that guy that's going to be around forever because no matter what comes his way, no matter what happens to him, he survives. He survived
immortal
4 years ago.
You couldn't say bulletproof instead, or
controversy. He survived everyone trying to eliminate him from the internet, and now he survived this.
He survived a wank bullet. Somehow.
It's like a meme now that no matter what, no matter what, I'm gonna survive, right? Whatever. For me, this whole thing, I never wanted to make public. I never would have told you guys a single piece of information about it if I didn't know that there were parts of it that automatically become public. Truth of the matter is, this whole process I've been through is something that many, many, many people go through over the years, but because I'm a public figure, people were all over it. Most people go through this and no one ever knows.
What is he comparing himself to? Any sort of businessman who goes bankrupt?
So many fucking shithead haters on the internet.
He's comparing himself to like fucking Bernie Madoff or something here with his Ponzi schemes and everything.
Bullshit.
Whatever. Now.
The one conclusionary statement I have to say, again, very general.
Conclusionary.
The one conclusionary statement.
You tack those suffixes on, Phil.
Simple. All right. If even a single piece of the things that people have been saying about me for the past 4 months were true, this outcome would not have happened. All right? The truth of the matter is, I knew the truth of the situation. I knew what was going on with my own personal stuff behind the scenes. And I stayed silent. I just basically said, I'm not going to really talk too much about it because I'm just going to have faith that the truth of the matter will come out to the right parties. The right parties being my lawyer,
Faith.
and
Oh my
the
God.
parties we had to work with for this legal process. Period.
He's
Those are the
praying to
people that
George
matter.
Michael. He's
It
got to
didn't
have
matter
faith.
what idiots on the internet fabricated or said about me. Although admittedly, because of so much internet slander, my process was completely held up for months and months and months.
Oh,
Right?
people
Directly as a
fucked with his
result of people
bankruptcy?
doing stupid shit and making stuff up about me and everything. Basically, my situation.
It's
was
either that or
gone
it's
over
something
with
else. He's
fine-tooth
being
comb,
so vague, and it's
to the
really
point where I
pissing
had
me
to provide
off.
so much additional information that
If you're
probably
gonna
most people would
spend
never
how much?
have to
How
do.
far are we in? How much of this is?
And
Oh
had
my
to do
God!
further
It's only 12
disclosures and
minutes.
the like in order to get stuff to actually go through properly. But the truth of the matter is, everything people said about me was bullshit. I provided
Everything.
factual evidence of
Factual
everything that I've ever
evidence.
said about myself to the correct parties. When provided with that evidence, they said, "Okay, wow, this is the truth of the matter. Makes sense."
That's what they said. I
sucks
heard
that
the
we now
hearing.
have
They
this much
went,
slander all over the
"Wow,
internet for you," or
this guy
whatever.
is
And that
fucking
was that.
broke."
All right, and there's so many idiots who have made stuff up about me now for months and months, and their jaws have dropped. Oh my God, I can't believe this was the outcome. Well, you didn't have any facts. You literally stared at a sheet of information that was none of your business. with
Okay,
no
yeah,
context
this
to any of
is
that
all right.
generalized
You see,
information, no
he's trying to
substantiation
keep it
because
so
you didn't have the
tight-lipped, but
information,
the way
so
that
you
he's
don't know
talking
any of
about
that.
this, it's
I'm
just
not
letting on
required to
more and
talk about
more.
it publicly,
He's
and I'm
leaving
not
the
going
little
to, because any
breadcrumbs for
information
you.
that I give you guys publicly
Either
will
he
be
knows
spun
he
against me
needs
in
the
a negative
hate,
way,
which is
period.
probably one of the
I know
reasons why
that
he
now.
attacked
That's why so much I've
Foxhound
cut
Media,
back so
whatever.
much
What
on sharing
Foxhound
my
Media was that
personal
the
life
name?
with you guys, because
Bloodhound Gang
the
Media.
parts of this that went public, this process took way too long,
Oh,
and
for
it should have
fuck's
been done
sake.
like this, and instead took forever.
The only
because of
thing that's taking
interference
you
with a
way
bunch
too
of
long is
malicious
to actually
individuals.
answer some
So,
fucking questions here.
with the information that was half information, people making all these speculations, you didn't have the full information. Of course,
It was
you couldn't
hacked now?
Actually know what
If
was
it's a
gonna happen in
bankruptcy
this
file
situation.
and it's on
So
file,
every
then
single
you can.
piece of
It's
content
a
that was
public
made in the
domain. You
last
can
4
go in
months
and
in
ask
regards
for
to
it.
this
So I
was
don't know what the
bullshit,
deal
lies,
is.
and fluff. It was stuff.
Was
to
I
make
given false
people
information? Let me
like
know in the
drama
comments.
And to make money for these idiots,
Or don't.
who
I
knew
don't
they
really-
had no
I don't really
substantiation
read
for
them.
anything they were saying, right? But they did it anyway to make money, and that's the truth of the matter. Anyone who put their foot in the door of my business, which was none of their fucking business, and they knew
I
they
thought
didn't
you had
have
an
true
open door
information,
policy, Phil.
did it to make money, to be a shill.
Why are people-
to
of course
fuck
people are gonna
over
put their foot in your
people
door.
at my
It's an
expense,
open
by the way,
door.
because they knew what they were doing was slanderous and defamatory towards me. They didn't care. They
So
just
that's why
decided
you
to do
sued
it
them
to make
for
a buck.
slander and
So
libel, right?
Now, 4 months later, everyone's jaw drops and everyone's so shocked and
It's like The
surprised.
Simpsons.
Well,
4
because you
months
didn't have the information.
later.
You're idiots. You literally made
I
shit
can
up
sing
for
that
4
better.
months
I'll try it
in
again
order to
later.
push your own toxic agendas on the internet to make money, while I, behind the scenes, was handling it incredibly professionally, wasn't exposing any
When have
information
you
that I
ever
shouldn't have
handled
pertinent,
anything
and I gave the
professionally?
correct
If
and
you were
proper
handling
piece of
this
information
behind the
that you needed,
scenes and
now
professionally,
we are
you
where
would
we are.
not be talking
Okay?
about it right now.
So,
If keeping your mouth
you know,
shut
I'm
for
sorry
4 months,
to my
quote
fans
unquote,
who have to
has
go
helped
through.
you
I
so
know I
much,
know a lot of
why
my
are you
fans
going on
were
and on
really
about it now?
engaging
You've
in
wasted
toxic
a
shit for
quarter
the
of an
last 4
hour
months,
of my
and I
life
didn't
talking
believe
about
you'd
this
ever
in
become
such a
involved in that
loose,
stuff. But it's
stupid
kinda hard to
way.
avoid when you got idiots spamming this fucking stream every single day with it. There's a million videos about it on YouTube. These fucking money grubbing drama hound pieces of shit. who
Do
wanna
the
drag
little
me through the
money
mud with
grubbing,
nonsense
yes.
and
Do that,
incorrect
Phil.
Speculation, not information.
Really
that's
give us a
factual,
visual.
bullshit speculation to make a buck, even though they don't care that it's going to hurt me behind the scenes. Fuck all of them. That's
God,
always been my
wow.
philosophy, and I'm gonna keep pushing forward positively. That's all I can do. That's all I want to do. I don't want to waste time
Pushing
on my
forward
streams and
positively.
ask the king addressing this stupid shit.
I shouldn't
It
laugh
was
at
none
that.
of anyone's business to begin with, but they made it their business because they wanted to make money off of me, and now they all look fucking insanely stupid. because they
Yeah,
didn't
you
have any
showed
information
them.
to talk about
You
anything. They were
showed
literally
them,
pulling
Phil.
shit out of their assholes constantly. Even people who claim
Somehow.
that they're reputable were doing insults and doing insulting thumbnails and fucking clickbait titles and every possible thing to make extra money during this time frame.
Uh-huh.
They saw my personal life as a cash cow of drama for them. Fuck those negative, disgusting, toxic people. I don't do that. I don't make that.
It's
kind
like
of content, and
we
I
could
never will.
recite the
I'm a
same
positive
thing
guy.
back
I
when he
focus
was
on
talking about
positivity.
the
I tell you
jerk
guys
off
every
on
day on my
stream
streams.
moment. Like,
I'm
I
not a
mean,
person
people
who
were making
revels
fun
in
of him.
hurting others
Keemstar was making fun of him.
to get over.
I don't. I
will
have
put out
only
positive
been
fun
loosely
gameplay
following
content
this
for you
stuff
guys,
and jumping
and
right
I will
back
continue
in.
to
I
be
assume
successful
he's
that
talking
way.
about the
And if I
bankruptcy.
fail, I
That's what makes
fail,
the
but
most
at least
sense
at
to
the
me.
end of the
That's
day, I
like
can
the
say,
biggest
hey,
issue
at
that he's
least I
had.
put out
But
positive content that people
when he's
appreciate
talking about these
versus,
big
oh,
name
4 months I
YouTubers
literally
making
fuck
fun
out
of
my
him,
ass to
I-
make fun of Phil and make him look like a horrible villain so I could make money
Villain?
doing it. And then after 4 months, the whole thing falls flat on its face because you were all wrong anyway, because you all made up shit.
I guess people really put a spin on this, huh?
So,
Everybody on YouTube. Oh, hang on. Everybody on YouTube is just a big spin doctor.
this is going to basically be the last time that I'm going to bring this shit up. There's
Not
absolutely
true.
no reason for me to continue to bring it up.
Factually
It's
not
now,
true.
And even though you're going to, I'm sure this isn't the end. These people who
Okay,
want
so-
in my
okay.
life and with toxic shit constantly, this is not the end. For
God,
them.
it is so
They're gonna
weird seeing him
still
with that wedding ring.
attempt to continue the harassment, to continue the information. In particular, all right, I'm going to say one thing.
Oh, okay.
There was one content creator who swears he's an expert on subjects like this, and he made videos for months about it. I watched a
Okay,
few of the
yeah.
videos,
It's
no
that lawyer guy.
exaggeration.
Okay, yeah,
At
yeah,
least half the time this guy spoke, he was legally wrong about what he was saying. Yet he produces himself as an expert on the internet about this shit.
That's what he's
And it's
talking
like,
about.
if the
See,
guy
Phil,
who's
I
an
didn't know
expert
exactly who
is
you were talking
wrong
about, but now you
50%
jogged my
of the
memory.
time,
It was that
can you
one. I can't
imagine,
remember his
you know,
name right
all
now,
the
but I
other
know
shit the other
exactly who
shit
you're
heads are
talking about
saying
now.
that's 100% wrong. You see?
Didn't watch the
But
videos, but I'm
I'm
sure
just not gonna
he
waste
wasn't
time on it anymore.
100%
These people
wrong.
will not let it go. They're going to continue to harp on it. They're going to continue to pull at any little.
Yes, they're
little
going to harp
string
on it,
or
and you're going to
straw
have to
left
talk
because
about
they
it
realize
again.
now
So
the drama's
saying
over.
this is the
But
last
they're
I'm going to
still
talk
gonna
about
try.
it
They're
is
still gonna
factually
try.
incorrect.
All right. And there's nothing I can do about it. I don't
Nothing he
have money
can
to sue these people for defamation, so they will continue to make these negative, toxic videos.
This guy
about
is
me and
just
things
a
that are completely
dying
untrue
horse.
for months on end, and there's nothing I
Beating
can
a
do
dead
about it,
record.
All right, they're gonna
Dead
say
record,
this isn't over.
broken
They're
record.
gonna try to.
Beating a
It's
dead
over for
record? Is
me.
that a? Can
I'm
I
not
coin
talking
that
about
new
it ever again.
idiot?
Don't ask me about it on my stream.
He's beating a dead record.
Personally, understand you're not going to get another piece of information out of me about this because it's done with.
It's probably
this is
kicked
the
with
last
Michael
piece of
Hutchins
public
on the front.
info
Too soon.
that was kind of, I guess, disclosed or whatever over the past day. I'm done with it now. I move on positively with my life. Okay. They will
Yeah,
harp on
it's
the
a new
toxicity
day.
forever because that's what they do.
And
They
you've got
need
your
that toxic
stupid ass
content
cowboy
to keep
hat on
existing.
and your
I don't. I can
Japanese
just
Sonic the Hedgehog
keep doing what I
t-shirt
do every
on.
day,
You're
all
a
right?
new man.
So I even apologize up front. I hadn't even talked about it on Ask the King. I didn't want to, but I'm obviously I'm talking insane generalities. Gave you no specific info whatsoever.
Yes, you
But in a
did.
nutshell, they were completely
okay.
wrong. They made shit
You
up for
talked
4 months.
just
I was
not
truthful,
specific
but I
enough,
withheld the truthful
but
information for the
specific
party that
about
needed it,
enough
'cause
things
I
where
was afraid
people
if I
who
did
wanted to
put
go
that
and find
information
it
on
could
the
go
internet,
and
people would
find it.
just use more of it against me and spin it in a more toxic way. I was right, and now because I've
Good.
turned it
I
professionally,
was right.
you know,
I
we can
was
move on
right.
in a very positive way.
Can we
and I'm
can we
not
get
gonna
one
talk about
Phil,
it
Phil? Can we get one more
All
take
right.
on that? I was
So,
right.
I just feel like
It's
I
in the
just I
can,
gotta get
baby.
this off my chest, and I apologize, guys, but I have to do this. Fuck you
Go.
to all the shitheads out there who basically make a living defaming me every day with no or half information, speculation, controversial
my.
drama. Go fuck yourself.
That middle finger was dangerously close to me.
This is where it was gonna happen at the end anyway. And you made my life a living hell for 4 months, basically. And now that's all over with, and I can go back to just being myself and relaxing a bit.
So now it's
and
a
having fun
living
with games
heaven.
and not having to worry every night about what's going to happen in my future because shitheads are defaming me every day on the internet. I'm just done with it. Like, I'm finally get like a breath of relief today. And I'm
Did
like,
he say breath or
yes,
bread?
Finally, I can just move on.
He said,
positively,
"Go
and
to
that's where
bread."
I am. I don't care what any of the rest of these idiots say. They're fucking wrong. Period.
You only wasted what,
All right.
20 minutes talking about it? 20
Well,
minutes.
Now, some shout outs. Let's see here. Oh, Crowdcock did a 150-bit cheer and said, I love the hat, Phil. Don't let trolls get you down. Thank God I didn't. Because like I said, there were many times during this process that people were legitimately, the things they were doing were fucking me over, and just making things be more dramatic.
No, he's
more
actually,
drawn out,
I'm glad I've got
more
my
stressful
tips up
for me.
there. So
But I
hopefully it's
persevered.
covering up whatever
I
he's
held in there
typing
and I
in. I
persevered,
can see it
so.
on the other window.
Go Gadget Vest hit me $4.20.
Go
and
Gadget
says,
Vest.
have great
The
respect for
only
how you handled the
thing
difficult
just
situation with Diggy.
more
Well, thank you, Go Go
insane
Gadget
than
Vest. I
him
appreciate that.
putting on this
It
vest and
wasn't
having
easy,
a streak
you know?
about it is
It
that
wasn't.
people
Every
keep
day I wanted to
paying
come out
for it.
on a stream and defend
He's
myself and
basically telling
reveal
children to
more
say,
personal
hey,
info,
we're not going to make this happen, and if this doesn't
basically
happen,
in order
I'll be a
to,
sad, vestless
clear my name
panda.
of all the insane shit people
Oh.
were saying about me every day. But
And
I
so
knew I was
now
taking the
there's this
advice, and I was
fake
like,
pressure
I knew
on
if
for
I did
people to
that,
give
it
him
was just
more
gonna hurt me
money
further, and there was no
to
point in
put
doing
on
it.
a
It was the right
vest. And
people,
he's
the
not a
right
child
information to the
entertainer.
right
He's not a
people,
children's
and
entertainer.
keep it
He's
out
not
of the
a
hands of the
party
shitheads who were
clown
just gonna
putting on a
fucking do
costume.
really
He's not a
wicked stuff with you,
Muppet.
and it worked. Thank God.
I've seen Muppets in vests.
Children of Eve did 100 bit cheer.
I think there was one in Avenue Q. It was good.
My immortal lord.
I mean, that was good. This
Thanks.
was bad.
Ratco cheered. He said, I love it when you get passionate. It's okay to cry on stream if you need to. In this case, I'm not crying. And if I cried, it would be tears of
It's
joy
hard
at
to
this
tell.
point, seriously. After all the stress I've been through. So, let's see here. Cold Zero cheered. He said, let it all out. Let the John Deere tractors give them the finger if you want. And then I did. Basketball American tipped me $1 saying that edibles are hitting him and he's high as fuck. Well, gee, thanks for $1 tip, Basketball American. All right.
That guy's
So now, ladies
fucking
and gentlemen,
awesome.
if that's nonsense, drama, and bullshit is out of the way.
He
we
is
can
celebrating
finally get
420
to
way
answering
late.
Your questions. All right. Finally, we can get to answering your questions.
Yeah, you only
and have some
beat
fun.
around the bush
Fair
for
enough.
half an
All right.
hour.
Let's get to it.
I swear to God, time slows down when I'm
The
listening
first
to this
question
guy.
of Ask the King, episode 81, is from Shaquille Oatmeal. And he asked the
Shaquille
following.
Oatmeal?
What is the special it factor that most Ubisoft open world games seem to be missing that would make them huge Game of the Year contenders similar to other open world games like Witcher 3 or Breath
Are
of the
these the
Wild,
questions that people pay for? I've been out of touch. I'm out of the loop here. Are these the paid ones? Did somebody ask this guy his opinion about what makes Ubisoft games not so great?
I would say, honestly, it's quality.
Have you ever
over
answered
quantity.
dishonestly once?
When
I
you're
would
talking
say,
about those games you just mentioned, Far
listening.
Cry,
I don't
you know,
really care
Assassin's
what he
Creed,
has to
let's
say about
Odyssey, that
Ubisoft,
was the last
honestly.
one, and Watch Dogs.
Honestly. See, he's got me in a
All
loop.
those games have a ton of
Dishonestly,
side
I don't care
content
what
in
he
them,
has to
a
say about
ton
Ubisoft.
Of side content in them, a ridiculous big chunk of side content in them. All right.
Did you see the size of that chunk?
But that being said, how much of that side content is actually good? How much of it is meaningful? And I'll give you an example here. Witcher 3. Yes, there was. Excuse me.
I haven't played
There
Witcher
were
3.
some busy work missions in Witcher 3, but honestly,
Hopefully all of you are doing good in lockdown and quarantine. Doing well in quarantine and lockdown. I've been playing some games where I've not been keeping up with a lot of the AAA stuff. Still been working, actually. But I have enough time at home now that I don't have to drive back and forth to work to sit down and do this.
Witcher 3 had stories that followed characters, stories that had unique monsters and bosses and situations, stories that were mysteries. Oh, murder mystery, what happened here and stuff like that. So,
all in favor of skipping the Witcher 3?
85% of the side content in Far Cry is hunting, gathering, taking over an outpost.
Far Cry.
That's it. That's like all of the side content of Far Cry. It's not riveting.
Far
stuff.
Cry.
It's
Why do you
not
have to say it
exciting
like
stuff.
that?
It's boring,
Far
quite
Cry.
frankly. You might
I know
like
people
it
have
for
made
the
fun of the
first
way that
hour
I
of the game,
talk.
once you've done it ad nauseam,
I've got a dopey
you're
Midwestern
tired of it,
accent.
right?
I talk like a
Assassin's Creed
putz.
Odyssey absolutely had a bunch of side content that was meaningful, but also it had this requirement where you had to literally grind repetitively to level up enough to get back.
What
to the
makes
main
side
story.
content
So you
meaningful?
had
It's
to
a
do
game.
boring,
If you're
generic,
enjoying
this guy or
the
that
side
mission,
missions
kill
or
the
the
stupid
side
centurion
quests,
guys or whatever
like
they
if
call
you're
them,
trying to
after
find
your
all the
missions.
hidden
And
packages
it
in
added
Gran
the game so
Turismo, or
intensely
you're trying to find
that
all the
you
fucking
really
bottles
felt
in
half the time
Sly
you were playing the
Cooper,
game, it was busy
or
working
did I say
boring,
Gran
and it made
Turismo?
the
Grand Theft
overall
Auto.
experience feel more,
If you find all the hidden packages in Gran
liquidated,
Turismo,
almost.
you are a
Watered
better
down.
gamer than
It's
I
like a
am.
watered down game
Not that it takes that much. But if you're having fun and you're passing the time, well, who gives a rat's ass if it's
funny about
meaningful?
this
It's meaningful to you.
is that if you
There's
look
no
at certain
objective
games-
meaningfulness in games.
All right. If you look at certain games, like for example, The Darkness 2.
Do people take
Or,
this man seriously for his understanding
Mafia
of game theory?
These
I
are
mean, he
games I
plays
played in the
games a
last
lot,
decade. That
plays
when I
them a
played
lot.
them, they
I
were
mean, he
very
has
short
people tell him
gameplay
what to
experience.
do,
Darkness
and
2
then
was like
he seems to
6 hours
arbitrarily
long,
choose what's
and Mafia
good
2
and
was
what's
maybe like
not,
8 to
or
10
what's
hours
fun
long.
about it, what's not
But
at
those
the
are
end.
experiences that like it's constant
I don't
fun
know.
story development with an interesting story with characters that hook you, and by the end of that game, even though they were short, you're like, that was a pretty good time, and I'm glad that I played that game. I feel like it was a really meaningful experience, right? Now compare that to Mafia 3, where they took an 8 to 10 hour interesting gameplay experience and they crammed in 20 hours of garbage side content that was required to do to finish the game. And honestly, I like Mafia 2 way better than Mafia 3 because
good
Mafia
for
3
you.
had so much busy work and boredom.
I still
So
like playing
that's
Epic
really
Mafia.
the thing here when it comes to
It's been a while though.
these games from Ubisoft, right? They cram in so much repetitive side content that's not meaningful that by the end of the game you feel like you wasted way too much time to beat it. Versus other games that maybe have
There's a
more
point
meaningful
to
side
what he's
content.
saying.
The
I
thing
get
is,
what he's
Witcher
trying
3
to
is no
say,
short
but I
game.
just don't
Witcher
think
3 is
meaningful is the
insanely
right
long,
way to
but had
put it.
mostly meaningful side content, and that's the difference. Ubisoft,
Well, it's not the right
the
way to
kings
put it.
of quantity, but not the
Watching
kings
him
of
makes me
quality.
talk
You
with
need to
my
start
hands, and I
tipping the
hate
scale the
that.
other way,
I need
feel,
my
with their
paper
major
back.
releases. Okay. Let's see here. Dark Lotus 1998.
Some games do get
$5
sort of
became the top
jam-packed,
today.
full of
He says, Phil,
filler things or
hey,
copy
Phil,
and
all
pasted
morning I've been watching
missions like
DSP
tailored
Tries It. I
missions
wish
or
you would
whatever
videos
in
again.
all
You're
of
good at
the
reviewing food the
Assassin's
way
Creed
you do.
games. Whatever he's talking
In
about.
reality,
Doesn't matter.
the question about
Assassin's
DSP Tries It is
Creed.
in the show, and I'll be talking a little bit about
Ass Creed.
DSP Tries It later in this very show. Okay? So, FYI, I'm not going to really address DSP Tries It right now because I'm going to directly address it later on. Okay?
What?
But I'm glad
That's
to
what
hear
I
you still
wanted
like
to
the
hear
show, and it is
about.
also publicly available there on my vlogging channels for you guys to watch.
No,
Basketball
I-
American sent me $1 said, did you ever do heroin?
I
No,
wanted to
I
hear
never
the
did
part
any
where he
drugs
talks about
besides
DSP Tries
pot.
It. I saw it in one of the titles.
And I don't do any drugs anymore. The age
I don't do
giraffe
any
is
drugs.
weird. It's fucking Treyway. I don't know what that is. Thanks for the cheer.
Alcohol is technically a
Frog
drug.
eggs.
You had a little
Cheers,
sniffer
I'm
of
glad you
gin
did
and
the
some
news.
point in there,
Hopefully
Philly
lifted
boy.
from
A
your
little,
shoulders. You know, it has.
little Tanqueray gin fizz there.
My past few years of my life have been incredibly stressful.
Yeah, for somebody who
Because
stays at
of
home all
things
day
going
and
on
plays
behind the
video
scenes that I
games.
don't like to talk about publicly with you guys because it has nothing to do with my streaming at all, really. It's private matters. And there's been a lot of nights where it's like, I don't even know what's going to happen. I told you guys many times I was afraid that I was going to end up losing my home. I didn't know what was going to happen. And by the way, I should say this. I'm not 100% out of the woods. You know, my life's going to be very
Oh,
rough
right. You have to
but I'm
backpedal
gonna
there.
basically have
Oh,
to
I thought
try
I was going to
build
lose the
stuff
house.
back. Stuff that's been destroyed.
But I'm not out of the
personally
woods, so if
I'm
you've
gonna have to
got
try to
any,
build this stuff back up. It's gonna
you
be hard. I'm behind on
can,
stuff right
up
now.
in the,
Like
my
I told
green
you, the
screen window
taxes.
doesn't
I'm
go high
behind on
enough, but
taxes
you know, give him a
that I need to
little,
catch up on, and it's going to be rough doing that. But I'm going to do my best
what a
to get back to a
dink.
position over.
Oh, stop. Was he trying to do this
where
with
I
his
feel that
mustache?
now
Was he
I'm
trying to
back on
fiddle
stable
with
legs.
that?
I've been
This
off
man's
stable
beard
legs for
game
about
needs to
5
get on
years. It was
point.
About 5 years ago. I keep telling you guys, it was 5 years ago when my YouTube channels had those false copyright strikes and my income went boo. That was pretty much.
I need
the
a
beginning
slide
of the
whistle
end
that
for me,
goes,
where all my debt
just
wrapped
like the way
massively
that
up
he
and everything got fucked up for me. I've told you this guys publicly over the years. Over
False
and over.
copyright
So for 5
strikes. Yeah,
years,
that's right.
I've constantly struggled.
None
with
of them
this,
were
and now
real.
finally I'm
None
in a
of them were
position where I
his
feel like I
fault.
can now begin afresh, anew. I need to get back on.
I think it
stable
had to
legs
do a
and
lot
start fresh.
more
I'm
with
gonna work
the
to do that. It's not
adpocalypse
gonna be
and
easy,
YouTube
but I'm gonna
not
work to do
paying
that.
as
The good news
much
is,
for
you know, you guys aren't gonna
certain content or
Okay.
advertisers not wanting to put their money
The evil
on. I don't
green
know,
ranger here
stupid
says,
shit like
I remember
this.
what you went through. Don't worry about that people exist out there. Oh, that bad people exist out there because there are good people, and I support. Your
Don't
content.
worry that
Thank
people
you.
exist
And
out there.
Gonzo,
No,
stop.
you've got your own little
Also,
bubble.
cheer. Thank you for that.
There's nobody real.
Okay, let's continue.
These are AI that are configured with PayPal
Moria
accounts and they
asks
give
the
you money.
following.
There's no people out there, Phil.
You said you've admitted to things that were either partially or completely your fault. My question is, what's the most important thing throughout your life you admit completely 100% of responsibility from your
Ooh,
part?
it's a good question.
For me, I admit that in the past, when I was younger, I was immature and I did stupid shit that I regret.
What does he mean,
When I
like
was
5
part of the
seconds
Street Fighter
ago?
community, I was a troll. I harassed people online for stupid reasons. I really got on people's nerves to the point where there were people who wanted to beat me up in person when we went to a fighting game tournament. Which obviously was a massive violation of the rules. Would get people permanently banned.
that-
maybe
you
even
talking
go to
about
jail
Ja?
if that ever happened. Thank God it never happened. Thank God there was never.
Thank God it never happened. You would've got your ass beat, Phil. There was I can't remember what it was. I was watching one of his videos, and he got a tip that said, "Hey Phil, have you been working out during quarantine?" And he just says, "No," and then he just moves on.
And I don't know why in my youth I latched onto this one guy and I really just like talked shit constantly and made his life fucking miserable. I don't know. And I regret it. Like I look back now, I'm like, dude, I was such a fucking asshole back then. you know.
Really?
Um,
Oh, look at how sad he is.
and
He's
then
looking.
later on in my Street
Oh.
Fighter career, I tried to make up for that by becoming a tournament
I wonder if that's
organizer
like one of
and
those
running tournaments,
mental
you know,
tick
that basically
things.
were
Like
money out of
if
my
he
pocket
is
to
trying to
run.
put
I had
on
to
that
upfront
air of
put
being
a lot of
sad and
investment
sorrowful.
of money and everything
If
to
I
keep the community
look
alive
down
before
like
Street Fighter 4
this and I
came
talk
out
a
and
little
reinvigorated
more
the community.
quietly,
On the East Coast, I was one of the
I
guys that
felt
was
really
keeping it alive
bad
for 2-3
about
years
it.
there when it was dying out because there were no new games from Capcom for a very
He
long
has to
time.
physically retch and
And I
contort his
basically tried to
body
kind of give back to the
into
community in
sad
that way 'cause
mode.
I felt really bad after a big career being
He's like a
dickhead.
transformer for
Okay?
emotions.
And I could say it's the same thing for YouTube. When I started on YouTube, I didn't realize that the things that I said and the things that I did
Do you
actually had such a big
realize?
impact on so many people, and that me talking shit about a game like Minecraft or talking shit about some indie game that I'd never heard of could concretely
No,
change
he
people's
look how
minds
sad
about
he
stuff,
was.
could
Oh my,
concretely hurt
I
gaming
said
and development
Minecraft was
studios,
a
like,
bad.
not to say that Minecraft
Now
was ever good
lots
by
of
anything I
people
said, because
watch
that
me
game was a
play
fucking insanely
Minecraft
popular
and
game.
pay me to
But
play
I just said really
Minecraft.
ignorant statements. I
Oh.
didn't realize
I'm
that
so.
I had power on the
I'm
internet
sorry.
with the following that I had.
Sorry.
Over the years of me having that following,
He's got to go into sad
I
mode.
got a lot
What
more
else could
mature,
he
a
have
lot
been
more
looking at?
wise,
Does
and
he
I
have his little
realized
list down on his
that,
lap?
yes,
But he tilts
I
his
did
head
have
down in
power,
such a
and I
way.
needed to be more
It looked
responsible.
exactly
I know-
the same. It's
I know the
fascinating.
Spider-Man line is very cliche. With great power comes great responsibility. Uncle Ben line, right? But goddamn, does that line
Don't you
true?
fucking quote Uncle
That when
Ben.
you have power, you need to realize that what you say and do can either positively or negatively affect.
Seriously, he's got to pull out the
fucking
fucking
and I've learned that. But there's sadly a lot of content
Spoderman
creators out there who
reference.
have not, and they, like I
With
just
great
mentioned,
power
people for
comes
4
great
months
responsibility.
Literally speculating.
What
and
power
making
do
shit
you
up with
have,
no factual
Phil?
evidence of anything about
Your
me,
power
hurt me
comes from the
concretely
people
for a
who
long
pay
time,
you.
until finally
They give
I
you the
you know, I was
platform.
able to
If people
prove the truth
didn't
of the
pay
matter,
you and give you
and,
this
you know,
money
everything
to
kinda
keep
works
your
out.
life
But
going,
they
you
don't
wouldn't
realize
be
that. They
doing
think,
this.
It's all fair game because someone's a public
That's
figure,
where
you
your
just make
power
fun of people
comes from, your
constantly and do it or whatever, and it's fine,
constituents.
right? It's not.
Your
You
Patreon
have a
pledgers.
following, the things you say and do
Your
hurt people
tippers.
concretely, and you have to understand that. If you have the power to help or the power to hurt, why wouldn't you choose to help? We're in a worldwide pandemic right now.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's
Tell us more
lives
about
are
COVID-19,
fucked up.
Phil.
Why wouldn't you choose to be a positive force in people's lives and help them? Why would you choose to hurt? For me, like, it's like, I don't know. I would
This son of
never
a bitch
choose
is
to hurt,
comparing
but
him
these
playing
people
video
choose to hurt.
games online
So
to,
I don't-
like,
I can't
you know,
tweet it, but I
people
admit,
who are risking their lives out there
I
every
used to be
day,
like
like
that,
nurses and
right? I
frontline
used to be
doctors,
like that.
triage doctors,
And now I'm different. I've grown older. I've grown wiser.
and
I'm way more mature. I don't act like that anymore. Thank God. But I admit, when I started in the Street Fighter community, I was
That's good.
100% an asshole.
that was
and I
funny.
Basically
That's
trolled
very
and hurt a
funny.
bunch of people just for the sake of doing it. And you know, when I started in the YouTube community, I was just irresponsible and said and did things that were very harmful, and I'm stupid for it, and I apologize for it.
Look down and look sad. I'm sorry.
Okay then.
He gets that
Not
little
saying I'm
hang dog
curious, if you were born in
expression.
Washington instead of
Hang
Connecticut, but
dong,
you know
hang
something
dog
different. Now,
expression.
I have no idea, and I don't entertain these
good
what-if
whiskey.
scenarios because my life is so chaotic and crazy. I have no actual clue about any of it, how any of it went down. Okay, I just have no idea. Joshua
Okay.
Connor Moon tipped me $1.33. Says cheering for you, King. Thank you for the $1 tip. Infinite gifted a sub to Dacky Smurf. Congratulations, Dacky Smurf. Let me update this leaderboard now while I'm thinking about it before we get to the next question. Egg Gangster Cheer says, "Would you have won?" And then it cut off. And then Cheer says, "Would you have won the fight?"
Would
against
you have
Vasant?"
won and then it cut off? I
I
forget
don't
about
know, and I don't care because that's another thing. Like in the early to mid 2000s, I would start these rivalries, and I wasn't serious about them.
With whom?
But I would get people so angry that they would actually want to like fight me. So like Vasant was someone who I basically had this rivalry with for a long time, to the point where I was like, I'm gonna beat him up or whatever. And of course I wasn't serious or nothing. But he was like dead serious that he wanted to fight me.
All bark
And
and
then
no bite.
Eventually we actually became way more cool. Like, you know, at one point I stayed at his place. We went out to California during Evo
Yeah, he
West. And I actually
stayed at his
with a bunch of
place.
other Street Fighter players. We squashed that shit years and years ago, you know? It was so
If
stupid.
a man
It
can't
was just
beat your
really dumb
ass,
shit.
he'll beat
So,
your ass.
That's what I mean. I was so immature
way
when
or
I was
another.
younger. It was really stupid. Coolito tipped me $1 asking if I sold my soul. Yes, obviously I did. Obviously,
He sure
if
looks like a
you're an
ghost, that's for
idiot
sure.
And you think that all the insane slander and defamation and all the shit that people made up for 4 months about me was true, you probably think I sold my soul in order to get a positive outcome. But the truth of the matter is, all those people were wrong. Okay? Crapcock did a 500-bit cheer. He says, seriously, congratulations. I know how stressful all this can be.
Who
I'm
are
in a good
these
place
people?
Now, but it was rough for a while for me, and it makes you lose sleep.
He's sending him a virtual hug
again,
with money
for
in
the
it.
longest time for years
Hug
here, I didn't know
money.
what the hell
And
was
his
gonna
name is Crapcock.
with my life, and I was insanely fucking nervous about my future.
He looks
you know?
nervous. Look at how twitchy he is. He's got to update his little
And again, I
little
want to say
thing
thank
there.
you to you guys, the viewers, because you guys are the guys who were here every day to get me through it via moral support, positive support on streams.
Morals
actual,
on one hand,
monetary support.
positive
From
on
time
the
to time, you guys have been absolutely outstanding and amazing, and I thank you so much for it. Okay, Basketball America tipped me $1, and I said I look like Kodak Black. I don't even know who the hell that is either, but thank you for the $1. I don't
Okay.
know what people were talking about here. Oops.
He looks more like a weeaboo out of a.
Captain K-Man Chitty says, are you gonna
I was
do
gonna
a
say
review
Laramie, a Marlboro ad.
Xbox Series X video games? No, because there's nothing to review.
He
It's
looks
a
like the
trailer.
fat
Third
Marlboro
option,
Sega
how long have you
mascot.
had the hat for?
I wonder
I
if
visited
there's got to be more
Tennessee.
pictures
I
of like
believe
Sonic
the year
smoking
was
like
2011.
Marlboros
I
somewhere.
could be wrong. I visited Tennessee to enter a tournament, Nashville, Tennessee, to enter a tournament to qualify to go to Super Battle
Yee-doggy.
Opera and play Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
He
in
went to
Japan and represent
Dollywood.
America, but John Rambo beat me, so he went to Japan instead of me, and I bought this hat while I was in Tennessee.
Wow,
and
cool.
Tony is subscribed for 7 months.
Please tell us about where you bought your stupid vest next.
All right, continuing on here.
I have histories
see.
for every article of clothing.
Kill Bill
Hell yeah.
216.
Every article of clothing I own has a history, a nice
That's
story,
the
including
next
this
question.
metal shirt. It's pretty
Streaming 6
sweet.
days a week, twice a day.
I
can
won't
be
tell
very
you, though.
taxing on
It's
the body.
boring.
I know most people think you just play video games for a living. They don't seem to understand that everything you do, both on scene and behind the scenes, can be physically and mentally draining. Do you think people will ever understand the side of a streamer, or will they only see it as a person who just plays fun games for a living? I kind of see it like sports athletes because they play a fun sport for a living and they make money. Most people don't want to hear them complain about their tough job because of this. Anyone who played sports will be able to tell you how physically and mentally tough you have to be. For me, it's a mixed bag. I absolutely love what I do
Compared
for a
him to
living.
an
I love
athlete and
games.
then said
It was my hobby
most
before
athletes don't
I did this for a
complain
living. I
about
didn't even
training
do
and how
this for a
difficult
living.
it
I
is.
fell into it completely inadvertently, okay? So it's kind of a weird story when you really think about it. But that being said,
It's a weird story.
You know,
I'm trying to
there are
fabricate something, but
definitely
that's why I'm
stressful
looking this
things
way.
about it. Not that I want to go massive detail about it, but you know, it's different being self-employed versus having to get up for a 9-to-5 job. You know, separation of work and personal life is very tough when you work as much as I do. You know, like I'm here on stream 6 days a week full time. So I only get
I don't need to
one
get on
day
my
away from
soapbox,
my
but I've
work
done
a
both
week.
a 9-to-5 and been self-employed. And if you
you
love
know,
what you
to
do,
maintain
you're
a
going to put in
family, to have a
overtime on your
life,
9-to-5,
to not
even
be
if you
able to
really
spend a
enjoy
lot
it.
of
And if
time
you're
with my
self-employed, your
because I'm
hours are
working
just going to
so much.
fluctuate more. It's
And
really
a
not
lot of people think
that
I'm overworked. Why
different.
don't I take a day off? I can't. I
It
can't take
depends
more
on
time
if you
off.
love
I have
what
to
you
be
do
here
and if you
making
don't
money
love what you do.
To pay my bills, to pay my taxes,
That's where it
to pay
matters.
everything
And
that I've had so much trouble with.
somebody
for
who
the past so
whines
many
about
years.
video gaming as
And
much
now
as
I
he
gotta-
does
now,
in his
even
life
now, like, now
situation,
would be
it's
a
hard to
long
see the
time
love. It's hard to
for me
see
try
the
take more time
flicker
off
of
when I have
passion
to
in his
try to
soul.
now have an
Oh, that's right.
opportunity
He
to get
sold
back
it.
on my feet
So there you go. His
financially.
flicker of
Pay off
passion
all
in
the-
his
the back
$20.
stuff that I owe and everything.
For
Now is my chance
his
to do
solo,
that.
it's probably more like
So
$350.
Taking even more time off for personal time and stuff would be really rough. Now listen, I'm not. some
Go,
kind of
Sonic!
idiot.
No!
I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys, oh my God, my job is so physically draining every day. It's not. It's the opposite of that. I sit here on the couch playing games and interacting with you guys. on a daily
Strangely
basis.
enough, though, you are going to
Or,
run with, like, you're going to run into back issues and health issues.
You know,
He
talking
says
with
it's
you
not
on
physically
stream,
straining, but
whether
it is
on
going to be
pre-stream or
very
after game or
demanding and
whatever.
taxing on his
This
body
is
over
not
the
a
years.
physically demanding job.
It already
is a
has
mentally
been.
demanding
It's
job,
taking its toll.
absolutely. I need to be able to play and beat
You get
these
to see
games.
this in
I
real
need to be
time.
able to have fun conversations with you guys, be able to hold down the social
Watching
interaction
him
every
makes me
single
want
day.
to sit up straight.
You know, so you know, it is in that regard, it's way more mental than physical. But you know, I'm not a presumptuous idiot who would say, "Oh my God, my job's so hard, guys." It's not. And admittedly, it's a lot harder because I have so many shithead.
Somehow
assholes
you seem to
following
make
me
it out to
around,
be a lot harder
constantly
than it is.
harassing me, threatening me, and I am where I am right now in my level of popularity because of the level of harassment that I've gotten over the years. if I never had this bandwagon mentality of people, oh, it's
Did he
fun
say
to
he
make
is
fun
where
of Phil
he
for
is
doing it.
now because
I'd
of the
probably be way more
harassment and
popular, I'd
okay.
be
Yeah,
in a
because that's
position, a
why
bigger
he's the
position,
quote unquote
I'm
king
not
of
saying I
hate.
would be a top
So he's
guy,
fully aware
but I
that he
certainly would
needs
probably
people
be at least in
shitting
a
on him, and
mid-level
I'm just
position
feeding
of
the
people like
fire,
content
but
creators,
yeah,
maybe
it's
bottom of the
entertaining.
barrel, you know?
And he lifted his ban. He didn't really lift his ban, but he went after
But
some guy who was
It is
trying
what
to,
it is. There's
you
things
know,
that are good about it.
remove
There's things
videos
that are bad
of
about it.
re-uploads of his content.
It's definitely stressful.
I feel like I get a free
but
pass.
I love doing it as well. So that's kind
I'm
of a
helping
trade-off.
you, Phil,
Okay.
by yelling at you
Um,
and drinking, probably more than I
you
should.
feel? Oh, hold on. Question from Dink Boo. Dink Boo. Ask the
Dink
following:
Boot?
Do you feel it's time to change the music during your pre-streams and breaks? Sure, the old school remixes are good and all, but it may sound really repetitive to the daily viewers. Would you be open to having remixes of video game songs play on your streams instead of the current playlist? The reason that I use the music
Copyright.
that I use because those are remixes of my voice from my content. Legally, I'm 100% covered. No one could ever say,
Yeah, he doesn't
"Oh my
want to.
God, Phil, that wasn't your content." Like, well, it is because it's my voice, it's my gameplay that you used to make a remix without my permission. I don't mind, but at the same time,
Yeah,
you
but
know,
he
that's
okay,
me.
yeah. So
You
somebody
can't give me a
remixed him.
strike
That's the
against
whole
my account for
point.
using
So
my
he's
own
been
content,
given
right?
the rights to use it. But again,
I know
wasn't he
there's
bit
tons
in
of,
the
like,
ass
royalty-free
before
music
from like
that's out
fan
there
art
maybe I could
because
use.
people would like,
Um,
oh, I don't like Phil
If
using
I
my
ever
fan
had
art anymore. I'm
100%,
going to
you know,
copyright
people
strike
coming
you now
against me
too.
and
So
saying, "Phil, we're just
that's why
tired of
he's in.
mainstream music."
But if he's
Stop it, I
using
would. But I have
music,
added a
what
lot
if
of
these
new
people
stuff
who
just in the
made
last
this
6 months.
remix
I
of his
added
voice
these little mini remixes, and then I also added a
say
bunch
no?
of
If he wanted to be
longer
completely in
length
the
remixes that
clear,
were
he
ones
could
that were
go
kinda
over
like, I
to
almost call them
whatever
hidden
Kevin
gems,
McLeod and get all
things
the
from over
royalty-free
years that were
music.
there that I never even realized were there, and
If
now
he
I was
really
able
wanted to
actually,
be
like,
safe.
put them together into this.
Or he could play
that I play.
all the
Um,
iMovie,
so I definitely
the
feel that
little
like
piano.
there's been more variety. That's not just the same songs over and
Red
over.
Letter
There's a lot
Media
more that's
does
been added.
always do that.
But that's why I don't play music that's not me, you know, because I have so many issues with people harassing me and reporting me for shit that's not true.
He plays
You know, if I
music
went and do
that's
someone else's
him.
music
It's his
on my
voice,
pre-stream,
but he
you'd
didn't
have
make
assholes
it.
all over it, you know, reporting that, oh, he's not using it, that's not his property, and blah, blah, blah. It would just cause problems. But if ever someone suggested, oh, man, you know, here's some suggested music that you can use that we know is royalty-free and it's okay to use, I would consider doing it, okay?
No, see, there you go.
Some more shout-outs.
It took me 30 seconds to say what he said in like 2
Dallas88
minutes.
wants me to unban them. And then he says, for 100 streak, rock the stash. The stash that I already have. What? First of all, Dallas, that's not how you get unbanned.
It's
You either
because
have to contact the moderator behind
he
the
said
scenes,
rock
or
the
you can
stash
email
because
me
he
stuff
doesn't
that's
look.
not
It
on
looks
my
like he doesn't have a
information,
goatee
I'll
anymore.
review it.
It's
All
all
right, I'm not
gone.
gonna unban
It looks
someone
like he's
for
got a
your
stash and a
experience,
soul
okay?
patch,
I
and the
don't know if
rest
you
of
know
it is
rocking the
either
stash for the 100 best
his
days, I'm wearing
skin
this
bleeding
stash now.
through or it's gray
I'll get
hair.
that. Tongue
He needs to get his
Lad,
beard
gives me
game on
$3
point.
and 86 cents is much love to you. Thank you, Tongue Lad. I appreciate that. That gets us up to $20 in tips. So far
Rocking
today.
the stash. That's what it looks like. If you
Wow,
back
what
up,
happened
if you back up and squint your eyes
there?
just a little
$20
bit,
in tips, I said.
it is just a stash in the tiniest soul patch.
Culasso Grande tipped me $6, and basically says there's some news story about white men shooting a black jogger. It's all over the news. Have I heard about it? I have not. And as you guys know, I'm not a political guy. I try not to make my content political. And so,
Well, it's a race
I don't think it's my
relationship
place to
thing,
comment
Phil.
on it.
It's
I know
not
nothing
really
about the story, so
okay.
I'm
Whatever.
staying away from that one as far as possible because I don't
Good
know what
for
the
you.
situation is.
Good for you, Phil. Rise of.
Sanda's Phil tipped me $1 and says small shoulders are a sign. of
Actually, he
obese
probably
man.
should just chop off the
Oh,
bottom
I
of the
do.
goatee
I don't know if
and
you're
just
saying I
do
have
the
small
stash. It would
shoulders or
probably
broad
look better,
shoulders or
especially with
whatever,
his little
but I
bandito
appreciate the
outfit.
tip regardless, so thank
Reminds
you.
me of fucking Mark Corrigan in fucking.
what is
I think
going
it was
on?
called
I just cannot
Banditos,
update
the
this goal
Mexican
properly
restaurant
for
that he
some
worked
reason.
in. And then Johnson
Egg
comes in
Gangster
for the
visited
business
with
meeting.
Cheers
He's like,
says,
"What the
I hear
fuck are
talking
you
about
doing
working
here?"
a lot. How do you find time to work?
Do you
in
work
between
here,
all your
Mark?
streams? I don't know what you're talking
He
about.
okay. If he dropped
Casual
this
American
and started
$50
working at
and
like a
got
Don
to see you rapping
Julio's
your
or a
absent-minded
La
tractors take away your
Casita
shot,
or
and
what's
video.
another
Alright,
big
tip.
Taco John's even he could do
$20 in tips so
like
far,
shave
so
off the
$50.
bottom of the goatee, right? Get rid of all the
Alright.
gray hairs and the the stuff
moving
that's
on
clearly
here
not
for
working.
here.
Wear that hat all the
Up
time.
next, Bone
Go into
Jack's
Taco
question.
John's,
Back
drive
in
through
the day,
every day.
when you were a
Be like,
professional Street Fighter
"Hola
player,
there,
and everything back
compadres.
to,
Let
like,
me
went down
serve
with
you
the
up
movie.
some
Do you have any regrets on that time?
Fiesta bites." I
always
don't
thought
fucking know.
about many.
Yeah, get you hombres started off with a nachos Bel Grande. Yeah, going to Taco Bell like that, Phil. Work at a Taco Bell and dress like that and embrace it, and I guarantee people would love you. Especially drunk people coming in through the drive-thru late at night.
That
Hell yeah.
even though at the time I feel like I met a lot of people that I never would have met By the way, if you notice I'm touching my ears, it's because of my fucking ear infections, and I apologize.
Why are you
for that.
touching
I'm
the
talking-
lobes?
I'm talking a lot.
I have a
on
bad
camera.
ear
It's, you know,
infection.
my ear infection's bothering me, and I apologize. I'm
Oh,
touching
it
my
hurts
ears
so
much.
bad.
I
Poor
met a lot
baby.
of people during my competitive Street Fighter days that I never would have met. I traveled to a lot of places I never would have traveled. You know, just off the top of my head, states that I've been to in the United States just because of Street Fighter: Maryland, Virginia, Florida,
But do you know where those places are on a map, Phil?
Massachusetts, New
Survey
Jersey,
says no.
New York.
He's just listing off all
Shit,
the
what's
states that he
little
doesn't
state?
know where they are.
Not New Hampshire. Oh God, I can't remember the name of that tiny state. Oh, Rhode Island. Rhode Island. Chicago, Illinois, and surrounding areas.
I can't.
I already said
Perfect.
Texas.
Yeah,
I
it's
went to
it's
multiple
bully all
times.
over again.
California, and and Nevada, of course, Las Vegas. I went to all those places.
You know what you
just
can
because
do
of
in
Street
Nevada,
Fighter. I met
in
people
Las
from
Vegas.
all over the world, including not only all the
As a
places
great
I
man
mentioned,
once said,
but
they say what stays in
Canada,
Vegas, happens in Vegas,
Japan,
stays in
Europe,
Vegas.
all
But
these
what
people.
that really means
And we had
is you
fun,
can
we had
have sex
interaction,
with
we
a
had, you know, not
prostitute.
only playing Street Fighter, but
Yeah.
just meeting each other,
They
sharing
say
each
what
other's
happens in
different
Vegas stays in
culture,
Vegas. That's
and
what
just
that
having
really
fun.
means.
And
You
that was
can
a
go
chapter in
there
my
and
life that I
sleep
will
with a
always look
hooker
back
and not
on
have to
and
tell anyone.
say, there's some really good times that I had there, you know? But at the same time, I also look
I forget
back
what
at
comedian said that.
and I
It's,
say,
it's a good
damn,
joke.
that was a big chunk of my life, you know, from the years of like I was maybe like 18 to 20 years old all the way until I started on YouTube, you know. That was a giant chunk of my life, 7-8 years, where all of my efforts and focus were put towards competitive Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Tons of money, thousands upon thousands of dollars, traveling and paying for
It's an
hotel
interesting
rooms,
thing
flight tickets,
to
and
raise
money
up.
to
Do you
enter
think
these
he would be
tournaments and
better
for
off
food.
if he
For
had just
what?
kept
You know,
going
if you
at
really
that
look
and
at it at
honing
the
his
end of the
skills and
day,
got more and more
after
competitive
all
at
that
it, as
time
opposed to
ended,
like tapering
did I
off and
really
then
have
just
anything
becoming
to
a
speak of?
YouTuber?
Sure, I had won some tournaments, but
I mean,
people
it would be a
always
lot
talk
more
shit about
competitive, a
those
lot more
illegitimate
difficult.
games.
But I mean, I don't know. Sometimes it's good to find
By the
that
time
one
that
thing
really
that you can
became
really
something
do
that
and
you could make a living
specialize in
doing,
it.
like Street Fighter 4, I was out of it. I wasn't really into it anymore. And because of my back injury, which now is mostly gone, which is amazing, but back then I couldn't even travel to do stuff. And I remember.
Yeah,
the
but then he
last
moved to
tournament I
Seattle and
attended,
it healed his
okay?
back.
I was having so many back
No more back
problems
pain.
at the time.
Although,
This
if
was
you
about
sit on a
9
couch
years
all
ago.
day playing
I
video
tweaked
games, I can't
disc or nerve
imagine
in my
that your
neck,
back pain's going to stay
and
gone
I
forever.
had numbness and shooting pain from my neck.
I've been
into
working
my
at home a
shoulder,
lot lately too, and
down the
I've
front
forced
of my
myself to get
arm
up as
into
frequently
my
as possible
thumb,
after
and
I'm
I
sitting
couldn't feel
down.
my thumb
It
for
just
3 months.
annoys me to sit for that long.
And I went to this tournament, and I couldn't even play. Like, I went to this tournament and spent all this money, and I couldn't play the games. So I sat in my hotel room and I played Dragon Age instead, because I couldn't play the games because I couldn't feel my thumb. And that's not good. You know, that's terrible.
Yeah.
And
That's really bad when you can't feel your thumb.
that's what I mean. Like, all
Mhm.
that invested, and what did I really get out of it? So maybe if I had become a professional Street Fighter player around the time of Street Fighter 4, and I got sponsorships and I made a living doing it, that would have been one thing. But I did it during this time when it was very grassroots, during a time when, like,
Grassroots.
it was.
He's
You
going
were
to start a
doing it for the
political
love of
movement.
it. You were doing it for the love of the games and the love of competitive Street Fighter and to keep the community alive. That really, there was no support from Capcom at that time. They weren't making any new games or whatever. From the year like 2000 to like 2008 or 9, Capcom was not making any new fighting games anymore. So, in reality, it was more like, if you want to keep this alive, it's great personal sacrifice and great personal struggle, which it was for me.
He's been
And so I
sacrificing
look
since
back
the
at those
day he was
times as a time of
born.
great happiness.
He's
where
got
I
a
met so many
sacrifice
people and I had
complex.
so much fun. I traveled and went to all these places I never would have went. And at the same time, I kind of look back. I'm like, man, you know, that was a major part of my life when I was younger. I had energy. That was before my back injury.
Take a sip. I'm almost
That was
out.
the time when maybe I could have been building.
Maybe I won't be
myself up
doing
a
part 2
career
tonight. We'll
to
save it
work
for
in,
another
and
night.
Instead, I was more focused on Street Fighter than worrying about my job. You know, so it's kind of like a mixed bag for me. There's stuff that I regret, but there's also stuff that I definitely enjoyed about the time. As is most things with life, I don't think there's many people in life who could look back and say, wow, everything went perfectly according to plan, everything was great, and I'm so happy that things worked out that way perfectly, right?
That's what
That's really
everybody
not
says
been my
about their life,
experience, at
Phil.
least. There's always good
Everything
that
works
you take
out
with the
perfectly
bad.
for everyone.
So that's kind of my feelings about my era.
He's
of my
making
life when I
up
was a pro
something
Street
that just
Fighter player.
doesn't exist.
Okay.
If you look back in your life and you say
Hans
everything worked out
Salah
perfectly to get
asks
you to
the
the point where
following.
you're at, you're
How do you
either
think the
looking at
Neo
it from
series
a,
compares
you know,
to
in
the Soulsborne
hindsight,
series?
building up to something,
If you
or
had
you've
to
led a
rank
very
them,
boring
what goes
life.
top to bottom on your list? Okay.
Nothing goes exactly as planned.
I would
Such
say-
a stupid thing to say.
overall, the best game of that is still Dark Souls 1. I still think Dark Souls 1 is like way up here because it was the game. Even though Demon Souls came before it, Dark Souls 1 has the best world
That was the best
design
From Software
in that
game?
There's fire pits, but cool mystical forests, crystal caverns, giant libraries.
Okay.
It's still one of the bigger Dark Souls
I have no
games.
opinion, but I do have a
I
lot
still
of
like
people
some of the boss designs
I
in that
know
game too.
who
And in reality,
really
you
don't
can go
feel
back
like
and you
that's
can
the
replay
best
Dark
one.
Souls 1 so many different ways. You could do a hybrid class, a pure melee, a magic class. You could
I
nerf
think
yourself.
more
Just to
people
this
I
day,
know
there are people
like
who are still
Bloodborne
playing Dark
better.
Souls 1 a
I've
new way.
watched a
So
lot
I
of
think
those
Dark
games. I've
Souls
never
1
played them myself. I
is
don't
still
feel like it.
the top of the ladder for me when it comes to that style of game. All right.
If I want
Neo
something that's
and
going to be
Neo 2
difficult, I'll
are
play
great games for the gameplay, meaning the
Ninja
combat.
Gaiden,
I actually
maybe,
feel that the
or
combat
what's
of
that other
Neo and
one
Neo
on
2 is
Sega?
exceptionally good because those games, unlike
Why
the
can't I
From
remember?
Software
Shinobi?
games, okay, or the
Shinobi
Soulsborne
2's
games,
no, Shinobi 2 or Shinobi 3. One of
You
them was
do
really
something
hard.
in Neo,
Really enjoy it.
you immediately get that
Or play
happening
through
on
the
your television.
8-bit Mega Man.
Whether it's you're dodging,
Mega
you're
Man.
parrying,
Mega
you're,
Man
whatever you're
games?
doing,
Did you say Mega Man
immediate
games
response.
or Mega
in the
Man?
Soulsborne games, there's
I
this
would say
natural
Mega Man.
wind up and move. And
Nah,
it's just
not on
kinda
an emulator,
sluggish.
though.
And they did it on purpose. But in Neo, boom, you get your reaction immediately for whatever you're doing. But the Neo games, number one, reuse assets way too much. There's not enough enemy variety in the Neo games, and they reuse a lot of maps, and they reuse a lot
I'm sorry.
of enemies over and over and over, and to the point of ad nauseum, it's kind of the same shit over and over.
Are you
And
sure that's
I
not
feel
your
that Neo
gameplay, Phil?
has certain stages
Or your
and certain things
commentary.
set up to frustrate the player artificially. Like, for example, I feel that Neo 2 has side quests
need more whiskey.
that are purposely set up to be unfair to pile on the frustration on the player. Now, some people will be like, well, when I finally persevere, I feel good. But when I play Dark Souls,
We're near the end of this,
or,
too. Fantastic.
any Soulsborne game, I don't feel it's like that. Like, is there a challenge? Yes. Is there unfair parts of the game? Sure. But is there ever a part of the game that's just so insane? Oh my God. Why is there so much insanity in this little narrow area? I don't ever really feel that way about Soulsborne games. I'll rage. All right?
Soulsborne.
And I'll get angry. Like, remember when I played Sekiro
Soulsborne.
when I beat the Guardian Ape and then I had to fight two of them at once? Holy shit. Like, you're really pounding my nuts on this one. But it's kind
Pounding
of fair
your
the way
nuts?
they set this stuff up. Oh, the Guardian Apes aren't too high-level Guardian Apes. One of them's kinda weak,
When you
and
were
can
pounding the
persevere
fuck
and you
out
can
of
win. See what I'm
Machinima
saying?
in YouTube? Yeah.
So for me,
Did you really just pound their nuts?
like, I think From Software games are more fair, while the Neo games are purposely set up to be unfair, but then they gave you more responsive controls to kind of balance that out. I still think the From Software games are better. I'll be honest.
So
I do.
either
I
the
feel From
game's
Software
unfair
games are
or the
better
game's
overall,
not
with
fair,
better
or the
world
controls
design,
are
better
tight
boss
or the
design.
controls are
Not
not
to say that
tight.
the Neo games don't have that, but I do feel that Neo is kind of
Well,
repetitive with a lot of the world
fine,
design
whatever.
and stuff like that. Being very Asian culture oriented and everything, while the From Software games can be more.
I love how
stuff.
being very Asian over
Now,
this
you're asking my
way,
personal rankings of all
over in the
games.
East.
I would probably say first,
Fuck off.
it's Dark Souls.
Why do you
number
need to go
one. Number two is
Asian?
probably
Is this
Bloodborne.
the
And then number 3, maybe Dark
the
Souls
universal
3, and then
gesture
maybe
for
number 4 would be
Asian?
like Neo 1. And I'll be honest,
He was
like
like
Dark
casting a
Souls
spell. Asian.
2,
I want to cast
and
Asian
Sekiro
missile.
and Neo 2 and Demon
God.
Souls. They're all good games in their own right, but I don't think they're as good as the other games that I mentioned. That's my personal opinion. You can completely disagree with me. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. An anonymous dollar tipper is asking me if I like would I play Young Thug or Lil Uzi on my pre-stream? No, I would never do that. Not only do I not know what their music is, but I would get into massive trouble, I'm sure. So that's not gonna
Wow.
happen.
Yeah.
Thank you for the
Great.
dollar tip regardless. Culasso Grande tipped me $10 and said focused on myself. Well, Culasso, first of all, I gotta figure out what Culasso means. Watch it mean like giant heaving like dick or something. Let's find out.
He's gonna look. The man just gave you $10 and said focus on yourself, and now you're gonna pause your fucking.
Huge ass. I guess that's not that bad. Huge ass is better than like giant schlong, I guess. So Culasso Grande
So big ass said. Okay.
is the top tipper of today with a $10 tip. And he said focused on myself. I don't know what that means, but thank you for that.
He's focused on his big ass.
Let's see here. Basketball American tipped me $1. I said, And then he's talking about
Basketball
oh my,
America.
You're a disgusting fool.
What a
And I'm not
name.
gonna
Just,
address
like,
that, but
pick a
thank you, Donald
team.
Glover. What a disgusting freak. Darkside Chris, what's going on, sir? He tipped me $20. He says, "Hey, dude, sorry I haven't been around a lot. Golf courses have finally reopened.
Fuck
after a
you,
month.
big
So I've been
ass.
doing that. Good to see
Darkside
it.
Chris
It's
is
finally
here."
working again. That's awesome because at the very beginning of this pandemic, I heard from a lot of my viewers saying, "Man, we've been out of work and things have been rough." And it sounds like Darkside Chris is back to work. So thank you very much, Darkside Chris, for the $20 tip. That is super generous of you.
The man
And
was
you
on
would've been the top
unemployment, and now
tipper,
he's
except
back to
Colosso
work, and he's
Grande
giving you
tipped
$20?
And said, "Focused on myself." So Colosso
Unbelievable.
Grande
That's
is currently
technically
the top tipper of
taxpayer
the
money.
stream.
Is it? I don't
And
know.
we're up
I'm
to
not going to read too much
$90
into
in
that one.
tips already, and we're
You're
still
off the
at
hook
one
this
of
time.
Ask the King. Wow. Thank you guys for the support. Honest Fan did a 555-bit cheer. He said, "Glad to hear you feeling better. Ever gag on stream like from allergies?" Gag? No, I don't think so.
Never gag on stream.
Have I ever just felt like really like bad? Yeah. A few years ago. I actually didn't feel well, and I thought I was going to pass out a few times on stream. And I didn't know what was going on with me.
He should
I
pass out
actually
right now.
was, like,
I
had
am
really
sick
high
of
blood
listening to
pressure
this.
because of stress and shit going on. in
I
my
do
life.
not think I'm in the right frame of mind to tackle another hour of this, so we will probably have to
reality,
break this video up.
when
I'll
that
do the
started
other
to happen to
part
me,
probably later
And I was
this
like,
week.
damn, I'm just sitting here playing games and I feel like I'm going to pass out. There's a big problem here. And so I started changing my eating habits and I started changing my sleeping habits to try to
change
be
your
more in
diaper
line
too?
with like normal life, and I actually have felt better since then. So, okay, ladies and gentlemen, I actually think this is a good opportunity for us to take a break. Let's take our first break of Ask the King. This will be a
Please.
short break, maybe 10,
Spare
15 minutes
me.
tops. So if you're watching live on stream, just hang out. I'll be back in a few minutes. If you're watching on YouTube, on demand, obviously this part will end and there'll be a part 2 and probably a part 3 coming up in addition on YouTube. So
No,
let's take a short
he
break,
didn't. There's just
and
a
then I'll
part
be
2.
back with part 2 of Ask the King in just a moment. Thank you everyone for your support so far, and I'll see you in just a bit. Thanks.
Well, there we have it. My perfect. Okay, that's fine. That's all good. My return to the dark side. Return to the dark side. Yeah. Feeling a little Kylo Ren on this. Yeah, absolutely. I suppose I'll tackle the other video some other time, but as for now, I don't think I can take any more of this, and it is pretty damn late, and I am all out of whiskey. So, thanks for watching, I guess. And, yeah, if anybody asks, it was, what was the name of that guy again? Superhound Media. Not Foxhound Media. No. That would have been too funny. If anybody asks, Superhound Media, thank you for giving me this get-out-of-jail-free card to record over Phil talking and uploading this. And if I get a chance to tackle the second one, it's twice as long, isn't it? I had it queued up, but there's no way in hell. Oh, my... Okay, it's not twice as long. It's just slightly longer. It's an hour and 22. We'll save this for another day. But, yeah, hope you all have a good night. Take care of yourselves, or morning, I guess, if you're watching this in the morning. Stay safe, stay indoors, stay tuned, keep washing your hands. Sweet.